Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Let's have a look at problem 3571. Find the shortest superstring 2. This problem is marked easy, however, it's not trivial. Here I'm going to first present a solution with raw thoughts, and then we are going to do a slightly refinement. So here we are given two strings, S1 and S2. We want to return the shortest possible string that contains both S1 and S2 as substrings. If there are multiple valid answers, return any one of them. So here, the length of the two strings are bounded above by 100, and S1 and S2 consist of lowercase English letters only. So this is not that essential, but here the length constraints are essential because it determines the problem size. So basically, we know some edge cases, right? For example, if S1 is a substring of S2, so we should return S2. Similarly, if S2 is a substring as S1, we should return S1. And then we can consider according to the hint, right? So if you check the maximum suffix of one string, that matches a prefix of another, and then merge accordingly, right? And therefore, there are two possibilities, right? So we use S1 and we check its suffix, and S2 check its prefix. And then we have the copy part, for example, here is BA. So we add this part, this is the common one, this is from S1, this is from S2. Or we use S2 and then S1. Then we have a common one that is AB. So we can have B, AB, and A, right? So that's basically the overall idea. So also you need to notice, for example, example 2 is the first edge cases, or example 1. But these two examples are not covering all the, not, I would say, general enough, right? You need to try, and if you have some mistakes, you need to cover more cases. So here, first, I'm going to check if S1 in S2. So I'm going to return S2. Similarly, if S2 is S2 in S1, so I'm going to return S1. These two cases are treated. And then I'm going to find the common prefix and suffix, right? So here I will define a function called helper, right? So basically, given a and a B. So I want to find the suffix of A and the prefix of B, the longest match between these two. Here the order is important. So here we can have M and N is the length of A and the length of B, right? So then we are going to check from large to small. So I in range. So I will say minimum of M and N. Then any at 0, and then the decrement by 1. Here we write 0 means that I is at least 1, right? So what we are going to check is this. So if A, so from using negative index equals B, so ending before I, because I is at least 1. So the length is at least 1, right? If this is the case, so we can return, say, either of them. So let's return this one. And otherwise, if after this for loop is nothing, so we're going to return empty, right? So now let's see if we use A and put S1, so S1 at front and S2 at the second, so it's called AB mate, right? So this will be helper, so S1 and S2. So similarly, we have BA mate, right? So I'm going to helper S2 and S1, right? So then let's do some check. If length of AB mate is greater than or equal to B length of BA mate. So in other words, if I put S1 in front and I check the suffix of S1 and prefix S2, they have a longer match, right? Then I'm going to use this one. So then what we want, that's what we want to check. If this A, B, and mate they equal 0. This means they have no comments, nothing comments. So we just need to return S1 plus S2. Otherwise, so we should return so the S1. So then plus the remaining part of S2. The remaining part of S2, because of the current part will be up to this, right? But before, then the last part will be made onwards, right? So this is the one. Another one is that, so if let's write it in the else block. So this one is larger. If this one is larger, so if this equals 0, again, it means nothing's in common. So we can return S2 plus S1, for example. Otherwise, so we should return S2 plus the remaining part of S1. So it's going to be length of B A made because it's larger. So we add the remaining part of S1, right? So let's do a check. Yeah, this passes the two test cases. So now let's look at the generic case. And it passes all the generic cases. So here, actually, if we write like this, I feel this code is a bit long. The reason is that this is very brute force, just to follow our thought process, but we didn't do some code compact, make the code compact. So now let me use the same idea, but we'll write a slightly shorter code. So this first version actually is important. It helps us to digest the thought process. So for the second one, we know that we need to first merge the strings, and then we consider two different merge. Put S1 in front or put S2 in front, right? Let me first define a function called merge. So put S1 and S2. So notice that here the order is important. So now I'm going to, for I in the range, so the minimum of length S1 and the length S2, right? Same as we compute the common suffix and prefix match. So ending before 0, and then the step will be -1. And then what we are going to do is if S1, so from negative index to the end, equals this I elements, right? So S2 ending at before I. This is also I characters on this I. So if this is the case, so we're going to return S1 plus S2 I onwards, because for up to I, they are in common, right? I would say not up to I, but before I. So then we add those after I. So this will be the same. Otherwise, we should return, because there's no common in this order. So we're going to return S1 plus S2. So this will be the hyperfunction. So now let me first check edge cases still. If S1 in S2, right? So I'm going to return S2. If S2 in S1, so I'm going to return S1. And then we are going to consider return the smaller in length of the merge, right? So merge S1 and S2, or merge S2 and S1. But here we need to make a comparison key. So what mean by minimum? So here we just use the length function, right? The length function means that the result which has a shorter length or smaller length should be returned. So this actually is the same as here, but this is absorbed by this mean function. Then put in keyword argument. This is the callable or the function, a comparison key or criterion. Let's do a test. So here I have changed this one to be version 1. And now let's look at this. Yeah, it passes the two test cases. So now let's look at the generic case. Yeah, it also passes the generic case. So here, I guess that's about it. To sum up, we give two versions of solutions. The first version is meant to demonstrate the method process, maybe. The second one is a slight optimization based on the first one. So you're welcome to work on this code, make some modifications, or come up with even better solutions. So with that said, I guess that's it for the current practice. Thank you for watching.